How are you doing? Ralfy here, Ralfy Customs. Now, this is a little project on the milling machine that I've not long had. I'm going to make a big fly cutter. I've got a few small ones, but the only big one I've got works on my mini mill, on my mill drill, and now I want one for the big one. I've had this steel in stock for a few weeks and been putting it off. And if you check out Matty's workshop, I'll try and drop a link in. He's inspired me to actually get my finger out and get on with it. I've had a few fuck ups along the way because I'm still finding my feet with the milling and that milling machine. I never claimed to be an expert at machining, but I'm gaining some knowledge along the way. And this kind of shows you that. So without further ado, let's get on with the bangs and whistles and crashes and crunches and get this fly cut made. That's that outer diameter, look, we'll turn it into that. So we've got this bit of 3-inch steel. I bought specifically to do this a few weeks ago. Smooth that out of the way. And I'm going to turn half of it down to 19mm to fit my largest collet. Then we're going to flip it around, give it a clean up and take it over to the milling machine. So, as you can tell, there's quite a lot to come off here to get it down to 19mm. So I'll get on with it and you can rejoin me once I've got that down to nearer the size. Actually, what's happening, I'm getting a bit of chatter off this button tip. So, it's a big piece of shit to be holding in the lathe. I'm going to switch back over to my triangle WNMG, I think I'm not sure, but I've run one of them down it a few times and get it a bit smaller, bless it. Okay, you can see how much material we've removed. Now we just need to take a very light pass. Well, it's bloody hot, no surprises. You want to see the shit on the fucking lathe? There's, look, masses and masses of this stuff. Yeah. So we take a very light pass, clean it up, put a radius on here, radius on there, and then we're done on the lathe. Give it a bit of oil. There we go. Now my mate Matty at Matty's workshop, he didn't leave a radius in the corner particularly because he wants it to go hard against his collet holder, and I think that's a good idea. I was going to leave a bit of a radius down there, just to give it a smooth transition, but I think he's right. So we'll just let it have whatever the tool's got and that can do it. I'm going to give it a quick polish once I've chamfered it with some membrane and maybe a little bit of Scotch-Brite. Just get my chamfer tool. Bear with. Get that off there. Okay, now I've made some chips. Get that on there. I've also worked out that my new DRO's not set up as I'd like. It's it's taking an absolute measurement this way. If I move the dial 2mm, it's taking 2mm off the reading, it's taking 4mm off. So I'm going to have to brush up on my Chinglish and see what I can do about that. So, get the chamfer here. I am going to turn it round and give it a clean up. So, again, you don't really need to see that, but I'm going to give this a quick polish with some emery, which I'll do. And then I'm going to flip it around and give this a quick clean up. So, just get in with some emery. I should have a Scotch-Brite on my lathe for doing this sort of thing as well, just to clean things up, but I think this will be fine. Like that. Oh, it's a nice finish. Yeah. Maybe just touch on the radius. I'll do. Let it cool down and flip it around. And we'll give it a good polish. Nice bit of fine emery. And we'll probably go over to Scotch-Brite. Let's really go for it, eh? And just to finish off, nice and gently, nothing in the way. If anything grabs, we're fucking off, you know, nothing's going to grip that. And obviously, if you're not confident working this close to powerful machinery, don't fucking do this. Like, they says here with the fucking toe thumb and fucking wedge finger up. You know what I mean. Give that a nice bit of polish. And that is fucking that. Let's get on the mill. Okay, so we're over at the milling machine. And I've got this digital angle finder that I set at 0 on the top of the vise, and then I put the setup on a parallel. Just use this parallel to hold it in the middle of the vise. It's lifted off now with one V block, and then the job itself against the fixed jaw. That's 3 good points, and by fuck these vices grip. I've also gone in with a 15-degree angle plate that you can't see very well, but just to double check the setup, and we're all good. What I'm really emulating is this one that I've got with an R8 arbor. Well, it's not an arbor, it's a one piece with an R8 shaft with an R8 mounting that goes in R8, and that fits my little mini mill over there, look, next to the Atlas. So I'm making one slightly bigger than this, and this is kind of what I'm going for. I probably won't do that relief. I'll probably just machine it away, but what's next is to level this top surface off at 15 degrees. But I know in the thinnest point, I need to cut a slot 10mm for the tool, and I want to leave at least 6mm, maybe 10mm. So we're going for this thinnest point down to 20mm, say. And we'll see where it falls when we touch that surface, when we level up there. And that's a whole lot of milling. Just like the turnings, there's a lot of material going to go up the hoover very shortly. Okay, so I'm going to set up, this won't focus, come on you bitch, RDG Tools, great firm, do lovely stuff, not sponsored in any way, but I bought one of these indexable cutters, and I thought, what the fuck, let's give it a go, see whether it fucking, the machine can handle it, I'm sure it can. if I can ever get this collet holder started. Bear with, which I can't. There we go. So we'll mount that up anyway, off camera, and we'll go with that. Fuck me. Okay, let's give it a whirl, shall we? Oh, we're all right there. That was 20 thou. Let's try a slightly deeper cut. That was 1 mil actually, it was 40 thou. Let's just go another 1 mil because we're obviously, the deeper we go, the bigger the surface that we're machining. So. Oh, that's absolutely fine. A little bit of chatter, chips coming off blue. But we're all good. So we're conventional milling 2 mil deep. And I've slowed things down a little bit because I'm getting burnt to fuck. But as you can see these chips, the colour of them, they're not nice when they land on the back of your hand. I don't mind telling you, and I've not got power feed this way. I can start taking cuts from left to right and vice versa. Once there's a bit more meat off it, I guess, you know. Just want to get in there. And then I'll start going this way and I can use the power feed and stand back, basically. But the bastard, but the tool's doing it. It's doing it really well. Nice and steady. I'll give it a bit of sud though, just so I get fucking wet and burns at the same time. I might actually switch out to my face mill. I've got a multi-tip face mill that's kind of made more for roughing out. This is just like a general purpose end mill, isn't it? But it's doing it. It's just getting burnt to fuck. Right, swap over to the big boy, I think. And we'll let that run backwards and forwards across it for a little while. And you can join me when I get that done. Oh, this is going to leave a mark. Oh. Oops. You know what I said about that V-block being alright for it? Oh. Holy fuck shit, eh? So, I've retrammed... I've retrammed the fucking head because the whole lot went off. The fucking hell, man. This fucking, that's just not pretty, is it? Got broken cutters, bits missing from the outer shell. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to live again or not, but anyway. I've put it back in the lathe and I've cleaned it up and got the worst of the rags off. What a fucking mistake to make. I've now mounted the same method, but with 2 V-blocks, would you believe? And tighten fuck out of it. I'm going to go nice and steady with my RDG tools, 45mm 1-inch cutter, and we're just going to work our way steadily across it. That's so much better. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was thinking there's a lot of material to remove, and I'm impatient. So again, not impatient enough to do the maths and work out where I'm going to be at on the big side, and use the lathe to take the worst of the material off to get me about there you go. Happy days on the milling machine, eh? So we've finally settled on high-speed steel, 4 flute 7/16. Believe it or not, I've got a box of old stock, 1 dozen Clarkson Engineers Limited. Brilliant. High speed steel, marked as SS, which is nothing to do with their political views, or they're made of stainless, because they're not. They're high speed steel. Box of 12, new old stock, steady does it. Power feed this way, wind it back. Cheers then. Thanks for coming. And we're still at it with a little blow here, and a squib here. Looks like room for a long one. I'm taking a 2mm cut, which is 80 thou in bananas, as Carl says. That's 80 bananas, and we're running at 812 RPM, which is your 400 divided by the width of the cutout, which is 7/16, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, 7/16. So a little less than half. So 800 is about right. We'll just knock the feed off, wind it back. Move across for the next cut. You can't really see. Blow the shit off. Engage power feed. Bit of suds. And there she blows. Still at it, if you can hear me. Although I've now increased the depth of cut, oh that's better, to 3mm, which is 120 thou. And so far so good. I did that because, quite frankly, I'm going fucking grey doing this. Jeez, I know it was a bit of a project, but it's like a fucking career. Yeah, seriously, if you look at the job, it's quite under stress, even at that. The chips coming off of silver, there's no colour in there. There's a little bit of heat, but they're not red hot, and they're fine little chips. So 3mm depth of cut, 120 thou. Don't ask me what the feed speed is, because I don't know how to work it out. There's a little thing on the side, look, you see that silver plate? That's where your feed speeds are. Wow. Also worth noting is that I'm going left to right. I'm trying to push that force to the back jaw. Now ideally you'd go this way, but I've not got power feed that way, and I'm fucked if I'm stood there winding the handle and getting burnt, because I've not got a roughing out mill. I'm having to make do with the tooling I've got, and this is working quite well. So just relax into it, eh? So we're down to size. I've not managed to get all of the scarring out from when I had that fuck up, so see how that turns out. I'm going to dress the surface with a fly cutter now. So we've done the fly cutting. We've not got rid of all the damage, the battle scars, but hey, you know, I could maybe put it in the lathe after and turn this down a little bit to clean it up. What we're doing now, we're going to make a 10mm slot. This is an 8mm slot mill, 2 flute. So I can do me 10mm deep and then take it out that way to make it 10mm wide. And it is bang on the middle. We've touched on this edge and we've divided this by 2 and we've moved it across and we've double checked it. I'm just going to use a cigarette paper trick to know when I'm touching on. And what'll happen, it's about 1 thou that is, which when we're working in millimetres, you know, 10mm just about. So if we lose 1 thou when it picks up, don't matter. We're just going to turn the tool until it touches, or raise the knee actually on this machine, until that touches and takes the cigarette paper away. And then we know we're about 1 thou away. There you go. So that's about 1 thou away. And now we can do the maths and do a cut accordingly. So we've got a 2mm depth of cut, 80 thou depth of cut. This is the third pass to take us to 6mm. We need 10mm deep. And the old 2 flute's doing it nice. seems to prefer a blast of air to clear the chips. If I use the coolant, then the chips tend to clog a little bit and it recuts them and fucks it up a little bit. Not good for tool life and not good for finish, although we're not there on the finish yet. So we're down to depth, we're pretty much on size, and I'm just taking a very, very light climb cut off that inside edge just to make it a bit pretty, really. I mean, you're never going to see it when the tool's in, but you know how we do these things, eh? I would just take a time. It's a brand new cutter, first job this is. So we'll just nibble away at it like we did with the top surface and get that down, and I'll join you again when I'm a bit nearer the end. Right, so a boatload of chips later, we're now where I want to be. We're a little over halfway, but there's still a massive amount of meat there to hold the grub screws. Shame about this, well, a little bit of damage, but there you go. I'm just making a really light climb milling pass to get the finish on there, and then all that's left is to drill and tap 3 M6 grub screws, give it a good clean up and deburr, and the job's a good one. Right, so I've marked one in the centre and then one each side at equal distances. I'm just spotting them with a small bit, a little 3mm drill bit, before we go in with a 5mm and then tap them out to M6. So I'll get that done and rejoin you in a sec. I can't film that much. And there we have it. Got to put some stainless scrub screws in. 3 stainless scrub screws, and now I'll hold this left-handed indexable lathe tool, kind of like that. Sorry, I'm not showing it to its best. Anywhere from there through to just holding it with 2 screws, which is going to be a fuck off. That's massive. How big's that lot? That's going to give us from the centre to the edge 4 inch. So an 8-inch cut. I wouldn't dream of using it that big, although I might have to, depending on the job. I'm going to snug it up a bit. So we'll snug it up a bit. And I figure that it's all very well seeing how I made it, and it's all very well looking at it finished. And it don't look bad, apart from this, look at that, fuck me, there you go. Let's go and take it for a spin, see how it goes. Off we go then. A little bit of shake, not too much. I'm taking about 10,000, well it depends which end of the block you stood actually, because it's hardly fuck all this end, up the shallow end, and about 10,000 down the deep end. But so far, so good. Certainly bastard. Raining chips down on us. I'll carry on and then we'll have a look at the finish. I'll try on a bit of steel. Unfortunately, I've not got the dramatic bit of rusty shitty steel that I would have liked to show you this, but doing it on a bit of box section that's as milled, so a bit of black really. Get through that surface and then put through into the good steel below. Now then, if you're still with me, then you're as emotionally invested in this as I fucking have become. Wow. So, yeah. There you go. One big 3 to 4 inch fly cutter, big fucking skimming heads and doing jobs and all sorts of shit with that. I can have all sorts of fun. And we learnt a few lessons along the way, which is the most important part really. Finish on steel, that bit of box section. Yeah, I can't catch it properly, but it's fucking good. It's good. Aluminium, I didn't take it enough passes to get rid of all the discrepancies in the surface, but that is fucking great. Got a reflection. Same with this one. Again, got a good reflection that I don't think the camera's going to pick up. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Can't get better than that, can you? So, Cheaper to buy? Probably. More fun to buy? No. I've learned more about my milling skills. I've learned I need to get some roughing out, fucking rough cut, hogging mill cutters for taking off a lot of metal in one go. And I've learned loads along the way. I've got to know my machine a bit better. I've got to know my machining a bit better. And I've ended up with a useful tool that will last for years and years and years. That'll outlive me, this thing will. So, it just leaves me to thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe and hit the alert, the bell. Check out my friends in the description. And if you go and like their stuff, drop a comment so they know you came from me. That way, we know our little bit of community is spreading the love. Thanks again, lots of love. See you soon.